Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
This is the closing bell on the Stock Movers Report. The companies making moves at the close of U.S. trading with Carol Massar, Tim Stenovec, Romaine Bostick, and Scarlet Fu.
All right, so let's get to some of the individual gainers. Hey, Oracle, that is your number one gainer in the S&P 500. Finishing the day with a gain of more than 13%. Company reported fourth quarter results that beat expectations, and they projected a 70% gain in cloud infrastructure sales this fiscal year. So really giving a bullish outlook. You okay?
Yep, all good. Sorry.
Okay, good. No, that's okay. Giving a bullish outlook for the closely watched business. Stock, by the way, is up more than 20% year to date, so definitely an outperformer. Datadog, I don't know. For some reason, when I say Datadog, I think of you, Romaine. Don't you like this name?
Okay.
No. Wow,
I don't know where you're going with that, but
wow, okay.
Yeah, let's continue.
Datadog. You always talk about Datadog. No, I didn't mean it. Do not read anything into that.
I read everything.
I know. No. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
I do.
He has a dog.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So maybe
Is it
that's
called
it.
Data?
No.
Oh, that'd be funny.
It's called Carol.
Number one gainer in the
Okay.
NASDAQ 100. All right, moving along. Up about 3.5% in today's session. Wolf Research upgraded the software company to outperform from pure perform. They say it's one of the best positioned names in their coverage to benefit from AI adoption from both an adjacent, more workloads to be observed, and direct new AI offerings. Point of view, according to the analyst Alix Steel. Price target at 150 a share, and so the stock closed at 122 and change. So some upside certainly there, according to Wolf Research. Cardinal Health, 4.5%. This was a top gainer in the S&P 500. Shares hit a record here today after the healthcare distributor boosted adjusted earnings per share guidance for the full year and gave long-term growth targets that impressed Wall Street. Stocks up about 35% year to date. I know it was a record intraday, so okay.
Can I just add a couple honorable mentions?
No. I have one more.
Wow.
Shine.
Okay.
Shine Financial, which I was assuming you were going to get in there. So I asked Finley, if I could add this into, I know that was going back. Finley, if I could add a fourth name. Shine Financial, guys, up as much as 66% in IPO today, finishing the day with a 37% gain. We're talking about an IPO that went pretty well, priced above a marketed range. So, doing pretty well. What are you going to add?
I'll add another honorable mention. That was my honorable mention, by the way. I'll just add MB Materials, having a great day, up 14% on the back of that news about a potential loosening of rare earth rules here in the U.S. Tim?
All right, let's do decliners. I got my eyes squarely focused on the tragedy that happened in India earlier today. Watching shares of Boeing down 4.8% on the day. Fell as much as close to 6% earlier in the session. 787 Dreamliner traveling from India to London's Gatwick Airport crashed just shortly after taking off. This was the first ever complete loss of a hull of a 787. It's a plane that's more than a decade old. It's got advanced lightweight composite materials that improve fuel efficiency. There's about 1,150 of these jets in service. Just an absolute tragedy. 2025 is right now one of the deadliest years in the past decade when it comes to civil aviation. Also affecting... And
I just want to point out, Tim, we are actually waiting for a press conference from the U.S. Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, on that.
Yeah, we're going to dip into that one on radio, too, when he does start to speak. Shares of General Electric now doing business as GE Aerospace, the engine manufacturer, down 2.3%. These were the engines that powered that 787 Dreamliner. They're the Gen X 1B engines. GE Aerospace actually is going to put together a team. They're going to go to India to analyze the cockpit data of that 787 Dreamliner. This, according to a report earlier from CNBC. Once again, GE shares down 2.3% today. And finally, how about some Pokemon trading cards? Because that's what GameStop is saying is the future. Shareholders not loving it, falling 22.5%. What's that?
Not Bitcoin?
Not Bitcoin. I guess this week it's growing trading card business. Ryan Cohen said at the company's annual shareholder meeting, he's the CEO, that GameStop will focus on growing its trading card business. The business of Pokemon and sports trading cards is in line with our heritage. It fits our trade-in model. It appeals to our core customer base, and it's deeply embedded in physical retail.
Adobe earnings crossing the wire. Looks like a beat and raise quarter. Revenue up about 11% here at $5.87 billion. The street was looking for 5.8 even. Adjusted EPS coming in at $5.06 a share. The street was looking for $4.90. $1.98. The company's guidance here for the third quarter, this says revenue will be in a range of $5.88 to $5.93 billion. The low end of that range is the average of street estimates. The company also says digital media revenue, a key metric now, of course, given everything going on with AI, $4.37 to $4.4 billion. And once again, the low end of that range is effectively the average of analyst estimates. You see that reaction in the shares up 6%.
So the big question is really how the company really frames what's going to happen once its price increase comes into effect. It announced it back in May. It takes effect, or took effect June 17th. Takes effect June 17th. I'm getting my dates all wrong. But that's a big question mark because you've got upstarts like Figma and Canva that can take away some of the casual users, but the enterprise users will probably stick with Adobe. And how much will we see that really jump in the revenue line?
All right, guys, just quick check in here on the bond market as we're waiting for more earnings to come out. One of them is Adobe trickles out as well. Buying across the curve, what was really interesting here is that we are off the lows of the session when it comes to the 2-year, despite those jobless claims and continuing claims, as well as that softer PPI. Also on the back end, we had that 30-year auction. Went all right. We got through the auctions this week. Everything worked out okay.
Yeah, so interesting to see. Hey, RH just starting to cross the Bloomberg terminal. Company's saying it still sees fiscal year revenue of up 10% to up 13%. Keep in mind, as we wait for some more numbers to come out, this one's been beaten up big time year to date. It's down about 55% with almost 21% of the float shorted. So any outperformance, we could see some short covering, but we'll see, because right now we are seeing the stock bouncing around just up about 0.4%.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.